I'd say that global mobility handles risks, or it's a risk handling operation for outbound and inbound processes for immigration law and travel.
Global mobility is a lot of things, but at the core, it's moving people from one country to the other and helping them grow, whether it's in their careers or as a person experiencing a whole other culture, and growing professionally and personally.
Explain global mobility to people, I like to start by saying I'm in the business of moving people, and then expand, on the fact that we are an industry that really helps and supports with a really big, important transition in people's lives when they're moving, whether domestically or internationally, with all aspects of that move, whether it be immigration-related needs or the physical relocating of things and people, and then, of course, the complexities that come along with anything related to tax and moving across different types of country or state lines.
Global mobility is essentially a function that enables an organization to move and place its talents at the right place and at the right time, also while staying compliant and ensuring that an organization is able to achieve the goals in order to remain competitive in today's business world.
Global mobility in a corporate setting is coordinating the movement of employees from one country to another, and it requires collaboration from many business stakeholders and external partners, including immigration, tax, relocation, global travel, and even the business themselves when it comes to managers playing an active role. So that's how I would define global mobility on its face. But of course, there's so many soft skills that go along with making this a successful function. I would say empathy, patience, clear and proactive communication with all of the various stakeholders involved, and just managing expectations. So that's really a very key part of making global mobility a success as well.
Sure. So my definition of global mobility is really, the act of helping an individual or an individual and his or her family move from one country to another. I know that there is a lot of domestic relocations, but my experience is primarily cross-border movements. So it's anything and everything that entails immigration, tax, pensions, social securities, banking, housing, shipment of goods. The act of helping somebody or somebody in their family move from one location to another. And so I think it's a very middle woman, humanistic, empathetic role that requires a lot of effective communication and active listening, because you're helping somebody through perhaps one of the most stressful yet exciting times of their lives.
Global mobility is a human industry. It's just moving an employee from one country to another, moving the life of an employee from one country to another. It has a lot of details regarding starting from the compensation and benefits of the employee, choosing the right talent to relocate to another country. So if I would say it's a human career, you have to be much sympathy and empathy with the employee to get to understand and to put yourself in his shoes. And what's benefit me is that because I used to work as an expatriate in some countries, so I understand what they feel about it. So it's helped me a lot in this career, and just to put myself in the employee's shoe. So I think the successful global mobility advisor or specialist is that he's putting him or herself in the shoes of the employee and how he's thinking and how a lot of details in his mind.
Yeah, so if I'm telling someone for the very first time, the literal answer is that global mobility is a corporate function that enables employees to move from one location in consideration of immigration regulations, tax laws, employment laws, and personal situations. In practice, though, I feel it means simultaneously being consultants, project managers, program managers, facilitators, administrators, legal experts, continuous service, continuous improvement specialists. We are all of the above because behind the scenes, that's what it takes sometimes to successfully manage the complexity of a cross-border relocation.
Right, so in a nutshell, it's basically moving employees from point A to point B and basically facilitating all the activities in between. However, the reality is much more complicated than that, but that is sort of in a nutshell.
So when I think of global mobility, I think of getting the right people in the right places at the right time. And ultimately, global mobility should be used as a talent strategy to attract and retain diverse talent. So while mobility professionals definitely are the gatekeepers and coordinate a lot of the logistics and make sure that we're staying compliant with immigration and tax and things like that, we're also a strategic partner. So we basically advise and counsel and educate businesses and come up with creative solutions to help businesses manage and meet their goals. And we also empower employees. And the mobility program is empowering employees to advance their career. You will find that in a lot of global companies, global mobility opportunities is important for employees as it relates to their career advancement and growth.